Welcome back to Pilates Chakras Tarot, a space for you to nurture your body, feel the energy, and heal the spirit. We are doing the birth number readings for the month of January 2021. And this message is for those of you who have the birth number 2 and the numbers in the series. So if you're born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, and the 29th of any month, this message will and should resonate with you, especially if you were born on a Sunday, Monday, and Friday. The message is even more profound for those of individuals with the birth number 2, 11, 20, and 29. I also want to point out that the number 2 is the representation or the symbolism of the moon. And as we just did the number 1, birth number 1 readings, number 1 is the symbolism of the sun. So the sun and the moon are complementary and harmonious in polarity. So if you resonate or harmonize with number 1, you can also go and I invite you to view the birth number 1 readings as well for January 2021. So let's continue on. So those of you who have the birth number 2 and all the numbers in the series that I mentioned are gentle in nature, imaginative, and known to be romantic partners. So just a few characteristics there I wanted to point out, if that resonates with you. All right. If not, be more imaginative. Seek nature. Be more visceral, if you will, like nature would be or is to us. Very giving, nurturing, and romantic. And it is a season of romance, or an era of being in romantic partnerships, cultivating and nurturing those romantic partnerships as well. And again, I'll reiterate that the number 2 is in harmony with the number 1. So perhaps the number 1 will seek and find you, and likewise, so will you. All right. So let's go ahead and begin the reading. So Spirit, please give us a message for those with the birth number 2, 11, 20, and 29. And we thank you, as always, with deep gratitude we express for this message. I'm going to take the card off the top first. Moderation. So be more modest or moderate in your decisions when you are planning. And let me go back to that. When the birth number is the most important number for everyday affairs or planning daily, and starting out the new year, there's no other better time than to get on this journey and creating a habit of planning according to the birth number, or planning according to what desires we want to attract. What are our goals and objectives in the year of 2021? I'm sure many are planning after 2020 on and have reflected on what it is that they want in their lives, because no one's going to give it to us. We have to create and bring it forth, what we want in our lives, right? So we want to plan, we want to make a plan, and we don't want to do it aimlessly, so we do it according to divination, if you will. These are ancient tools that we use that have been used during antiquity. Our ancestors used these tools, divination, to help make decisions, to cultivate their lives on a daily basis. And they passed those down to other sages, and which in turn they passed it down to the lay people, or the lay people got a hold of it at this point. All right. So the first card out is moderation, card number 14, and the number 14 reduces to the number 5, which is change. So as you're making these changes and adjustments in your world, birth number 2, you want to make those plans according to, in moderation, to be modest about them. I'm going to read from the book, actually. I'll keep this deck out because I want to clarify this deck, get more meaning to it. All right. So, let's see. Number 14. Moderation. Okay. A need to exercise restraint and self-control in every area of life. Perhaps you are overeating, drinking too much alcohol, smoking, over-medicating or taking drugs, overspending, exercising excessively, consuming too much sugar or coffee, gambling, you name it. So we get it. There's some overindulgence, some excessive behavior that we need to be mindful of and cut back. All right. And with love, this spirit is giving you a nudge, a nudgeful love, a lovable nudge to say, retract. All right. In order for you to manifest your dreams, if you're overindulging and serving these negative behaviors, you can delay your abundance, the things that you want to manifest. So just be mindful of the overdoing, the overindulging. All right. A need to balance your desires for freedom and adventure with your responsibilities, because by honoring your commitments, you will prevent the building of karmic debt. By choosing to live as a higher self rather than giving in to your lower tendencies, you align with Source. And in the intentions of your soul, you align with the intentions of your soul. Everybody has a shadow side that needs to be acknowledged, embraced, and loved. But when you learn to rise above it, you make your dreams come true. So there's a lot here. There is something that you particularly need to cut back on. Restrain yourself from overindulging in the guilty pleasures. All right? We don't want to delay our blessings, the things that the universe so eagerly wants to bestow upon us. When we're happy, the world is happy. The universe is happy. People, our family members around us are happy. So you can be the change in the world, is what I'm saying when I say the world will be happy when you're happy, because you are going to interact. We interact with other beings all day, every day, and you can affect their world you can affect them with your happiness, because happiness can be contagious, right? So again, be mindful of those behaviors that could render toxicity. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to beat you guys up about that. So, moderation. Practice moderation. And that's number 14, and that's all about change. Just changing it up, pulling back a little bit, being a little bit more flexible. You don't need to go out and shop all the time. You don't need to party all the time. You don't need to drink every day. All those things. So, moderation. All right, the other card, rebirth. All right, that's going to be a part of the renewal. You're practicing and adjusting the things that the behaviors that needs to be adjusted in your life will bring about change, a rebirth, a newness. It's similar to the card of new beginnings. You're giving birth to something anew, something that's going to empower you and in turn empower others, even if it's just your happiness. Again, your happiness can be infectious. So with that, affecting other people's lives in turn can affect your life and bring about this change and newness, this rebirth. All right, let me pull the other card and we can continue on. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself. So there's something here. This really is about your oneself. This is not about many. This is clear and to the point. This is strictly a message for the individual. You need to let go of any blame, any guilt, any shame. Forgive yourself. There's no reason to focus on blame, guilt, and shame. These are temporary emotions, but they can become deeply embedded into our consciousness and our subconsciousness. And we find ourselves that we can't move forward. We can't find it within ourselves to forgive ourselves for those things that we may make us feel guilty, make us feel shameful, right? But these are things you're not being judged by these things anymore. That's what you have to realize, is that you are judging yourself. Most people are not even judging you. And if they are, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Right? Again, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. So if you could think about it that way, maybe that could be helpful in forgiveness and forgiving yourself. Bring about this rebirth. There's a rebirthing happening for you in particular, the individual who's listening to this. When you practice moderation, when you step back and retract from those things that could cause you to overindulge, self-medicate yourself. And I'm just going to bring it up as an example. And if you overindulge in alcohol, I'm not going to call anybody an alcoholic, but if you're overindulging and it's consistent, you have the tendency, or it has the symptoms of alcoholism, right? If this is something that you know, whatever it is, doesn't have to be alcoholism. It could be a sex addict, and sex is very what do you call it? Mediocre. It just sex. Who wants just sex? It should be more than that. It should be sacred. All right? And I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I'm just trying to make a point of moderation. Any of those things that causes you to not be of your greater self, your higher self, those are the things that you need to cut back on. You need to overindulge in spirituality, in your relationship with oneness with yourself, with your inner guides, your inner being. You need to overindulge in that and retract from the things that are of the world outside of yourself. When we overindulge in our relationship with ourselves and with spirit, with God force, there really is no such thing as overindulgence, because that brings about enlightenment. That overindulgence in oneness and with spirit, your God source, brings about blissfulness. It brings about ecstasy. Those things that causes you to backpedal, it's all temporary. It's relative. It's not absolute. Anything in spirit is absolute. So overindulging in your rebirth, which has a lot to do with your spirituality, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your inner being, your God source, your life force. Overindulging in that will bring about forgiveness. For one, it will change your life. It will rebirth. It will reborn. You will be reborn. So, first off, practice moderation, and it'll bring about your success, your rebirth, and forgive yourself for any of those things. And let's go ahead and bring some tarot to our reading here. So Spirit, please give us 3 more cards and messages that support moderation, rebirth, and forgiveness for those with the birth number 2, 11, 20, 29 of any month. And so it is. Thank you, Spirit. Win or lose. Win or lose. There's no in between. And again, double confirmation. This card is number 5 off top. Off the top is number 5. And as I mentioned, moderation, the number 14 reduces to 5. It's all about changing. It's your choice. It's your choice to win or to lose. Are you a winner or are you a loser? Are you victorious or are you going to be defeated? Are you defeated? Okay? By the overindulgence. It's a clear message. It's a straight up clear message. This is a sword. The sword represents truth. You know what's true for you. You know the truth. You know right from wrong. You know win or lose. You know what that means clearly. So be very deliberate about those decisions and very deliberate about the overindulgence, the addictions, the things that we need to retract, undo, redo. And I see also, if you look at the sword, there's a heart there. I'm going to say that represents the love. And the sword is kind of split in the center. You can't be, there's no in between. When you bring about both sides, you're bringing about wholeness to your life. When you take the time to reflect on those things that needs to change, those things that you need to win in, those things that you lose in, you need to release them and let them go. And you will be whole again. You will be whole. The card didn't say, Spirit didn't say you had to let go of those things altogether. But you know if you need to. If it's truly an addiction, an illness, as a result of your overindulgence, then yes, you need to release them and let them go. But if it's just something that you enjoy, it's a guilty pleasure, and you can do these things in moderation. If all it takes is your willpower, your discipline, dedication to yourself, loving yourself, you're going to win. You're going to win. And it's a choice. It's a choice. The cards clearly spoke it loud and clear. You know, when you start to decrease the amount of indulgence, you are bound for rebirth, forgiveness for all the things that may have been done as a result of the overindulgence. It's the past. It's gone. It doesn't exist in this present moment. As you're watching this, it doesn't exist. So forgive yourself at this point and every day forward, every moment forward, and win. Choose to win or to lose. The next card out, success and growth. See, it's there. Your rebirth is going to bring about the success. You're going to grow. You're bound to grow. Know this. Don't just believe it. If it starts with a belief, then fine. But absolutely moving towards knowing that Spirit, have that faith. Spirit is going to grant you that success. And you're ultimately going to grow from all of the rebirth, from the changes, from the moderation, the changes that you make, the adjustments that you make in your world. You're bound to be successful in it. All right. And lastly, darkest fears. Yeah, forgiveness for the darkest fears. Darkness. Yeah, you have to forgive yourself. The fears are the resistance. When you resist change, when you resist those guilty pleasures. Well, no. Yeah, if you're resisting, that's good. Those guilty pleasures. But when you resist the victory, when you resist when you resist change, when you resist the rebirth, you find yourself in a place of guilt and shame. So again, the path of least resistance is the path to take. Don't try to control everything. I don't want to get this mixed up because I don't want the message to be misconstrued. You do want to control it because it's an overindulgence. So yes, you have to be in complete control. You have to reel yourself back in. You have to pull yourself in by the reins. Tame that beast within. Forgive yourself. Forget about these darkest feels. Let it go. You are a king. You're wearing a corona. Okay? You are royalty. Masculine or feminine. If this applies to you, you are royalty. You are sovereign. And you just have to recall that back to yourself. You have to recall and reclaim this back to yourself. You are not those addictions. You are not the shame and guilt of your experience here on the earthly plane. You are a spiritual being, and you will return to the spirit. You will return to the cosmos. And you need to return with lessons learned, with being in control, practicing moderation, practicing that, having discipline and dedication to yourself first and foremost. So I think this message is clear. Success is on the table. Abundance, growth, winning is on the table. Those are the things, that's what you have to look forward to when you practice moderation. When you give up those things that are toxic. You can look forward to a rebirth. You can look forward to the victory. You can look forward to growth and success. You are a king or queen. You are an empress or an emperor. He definitely looks like an emperor in this picture. Let go of those fears. They're not dark. That's an illusion. They're illuminated. His crown is illuminated. Just let go. Don't resist, Spirit. Don't resist this rebirth. Don't resist your success and growth. Forgive yourself for all the things, all the worldly things. We're all subjected to flaws and making mistakes, errors. It's all about the lesson now. Have you learned the lesson? Once you learn the lesson, you know, you've paid the karmic debt pretty much, because Spirit knows when you've learned the lesson, if you continue to do the same things and continue to have the same experience, you know, that's up to you. But you have every moment to forgive yourself for those things. There's no reason to be in dark fears. That's an illusion. So I'm going to leave it there. I salute you for making the attempt, because I know you will. Just by making the attempt, exert yourself. So the chakra card that came out for the week is the root chakra, and this is the action card. Movement, perseverance, discipline, motivation. Take that time. So the root chakra is the chakra that you need to work on. You need to focus on that. Persevere through all of these addictions. Persevere through it all. Take the action. Just making that attempt, like I said, an attempt is action. An attempt is beginning to exert yourself to make that change, to practice moderation. And all of the gifts of success, victory, rebirth will be yours. So do take advantage of the root chakra meditation that I will be posting up. Please do take advantage of that to help at any time of need as part of your discipline and dedication to yourself, taking the action. Do go into that meditation. All right, and so it is. Peace.